Alright guys, how we doing today? It's Laurent from the LA Clubhouse. Today I'm with a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Nathan.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Nathan James, the photo poppy. We in this mother.
Take a camera out and capture this moment. You've been living through pictures.
Alright, so just to rewind back to what you just said, the photo poppy.
Yeah.
So you're the photo poppy.
I am the photo poppy.
Okay, so explain what that means.
So basically, like the photo poppy is like, you know, kind of like just a photo like king, you know, like just one of the greats with it. And I'm not really sure how I got the name. I honestly can't remember, but I know I was shooting a lot of Latin artists.
Okay.
And
so
I think it kind of came with, you know, poppy and photo, and then it just turned into like this, you know, photo poppy type thing.
Yeah.
And the girls would start calling me photo poppy, and it just kind of stayed Nathan James, the photo poppy, you know.
Good catch. So right off the bat, before we get into the interview, I know this is a question that, I mean, a lot of your fans are probably curious, is your hair.
Yeah.
So your hair tends to change over time pretty sporadically.
Yeah.
So could you just go about what it takes to maintain a hairstyle like that and how you get your ideas?
Yeah, man. So like when I was younger, you know, like the whole color thing was kind of harder to do. But I either like to have it pink, green, or like some crazy shit in my head. You know what I mean? And what inspires me like the most is like I'll see something like on the street or a billboard of like colors, and I'm like, that'd be a cool like color palette to put in my head, you know?
Okay, wow, yeah. So it goes deeper.
Yeah, it goes deeper, and I'll see stuff, and like, you know, I just did a video, so in the back of my head actually, you know, you see you got the
it's like a heart.
Yeah, kind of, that's, you know, relatable to the first song I'm putting out. That's why I did like the Broken Heart, because that's what the song's about.
So for a while there, I saw you actually had your logo, Nathan James, on the top of your head.
Yeah, I took the Louis Vuitton pattern, but replaced the LV with the NJ.
Wow.
So I had like that, you know, Louis NJ pattern.
Who does this?
Bro, shout out to Kid Bronze.
Kid Bronze. Okay.
Kid Bronze, man, that guy is wicked.
So I mean, aside from that, so the hair is crazy, the looks are crazy, the tattoos. Let's talk about your tattoos. Clearly, you're very tattoo consumed.
Very tatted. Yeah.
When your work is good, for the most part, that's pretty rare.
Yeah,
especially in LA.
Yeah, shout out to E-Bone, man. He's my tattoo artist. He does all my tats, so like everything you see on me, all of him. And you know, some tats have more meaning than others, but from my Nightmares art gallery, I put like this image on here, which was called Am I Good Enough? So I got that tatted on here. And then my first actual portrait was this right here. So this is a girl that I shot, and this was my first ever in studio like portrait shot, and that's why I wanted to get that on me. Yeah. Because now I'm really known for like the headshots and the portraiture studio type scene. That's the kind of like my go-to thing that everyone wants from me when they like hit me up to book a shoot. So it was only right I got these two on.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And speaking about your photo shoots mainly, you're really famous for these headshots, right? Yeah, you're a rock star of the photo community for these headshots. Big shit, yeah. So you're saying you're a digital surgeon.
Yes.
For the people who don't know what a digital surgeon is, how can you touch on that?
Yeah, basically a digital surgeon, like what you see, you know, girls or guys get done with Botox and restructure nose jobs and stuff like that. I'm literally doing that, but on digitally. So that's why if people to really see like the before and after photo, like side by side or layered on top of each other. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, like it's literally like, holy fuck, you just reshaped someone to look perfectly imperfect. You know, because you have there's a fine line between, oh my god, that looks fake, or like, fuck, that just hits. It just looks right.
It's clean,
you know. And that's the hardest thing, because I'm literally in Photoshop and everything. I am painting also on the person, but it doesn't look like paint. It just looks great, super clean, you know. So
speaking on that previous conversation we had, you said one of your last photo shoots you did with the game, he had a hair on his face.
Yeah. So the last shoot I did with the game, you know, his barber did a great cut, but I think he kind of forgot to wipe off some of like the hairs. So these little hairs all over his face and everything. So it took me hours just to go in there and remove each piece of hair, and then
to do it correctly.
Cleaning everything up, making everything pop. I mean, I do crazy stuff in Photoshop, adding to people's hairlines, putting hair, placing hair, trimming beards, giving shaves in Photoshop. Oh yeah.
So it gets deep. It gets deep.
Hugely deep. Yeah.
Wow. So I guess for the most part, it's pretty successful. You're doing really good. I see you have a lot of big placements. Your Rolodex is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah. So speaking of some of those clients, Trippy Red, The Game, Coil Ray, who are some of the most influential people that you like to work with, or that you really kind of clicked with during your photo shoots?
Yeah, you know, I would say like the biggest person I've ever shot was for sure Justin Bieber.
You shot Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
Okay, why? Tell us about it.
So that was cool. That whole connection came through Post Malone. And I did this iconic ass photo of Post Malone before he had like any tattoos. He had no tattoos. Wow. And you might have seen the one where he's like this and he's like smiling.
You took that?
Yeah, that's
wow, yeah, of course I've seen that photo, yeah.
Yeah, so that thing is everywhere. And around Christmas time, everyone is putting that photo on like sweatshirts and calling it Post Malone or Home Alone, but like Post Malone, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean it's illegally being used, the licensing of that. And my attorney and Post's attorneys are like handling that right now because we kind of ignored it for a while, but people are making so much money on that. Yeah, bro. So that was a really iconic shot, and everyone I've worked with so far has been great. There's only been like really one or two like top tier like celebrities that I've worked with where I've been like, man, you're a fucking prick, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't want to say no names.
Of course not.
But yeah, there's only been like one or two. Everyone else has been great.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
So how did you get your start necessarily? These are pretty big clients. I'm sure most photographers out here in LA don't have access to these clients. So how does someone go about getting them?
No, hella. I mean, my whole photography career started because I was playing college basketball. And I had 2 knee surgeries that totally ended my career. Couldn't play anymore.
Of course.
So I'm playing in Casper, Wyoming, have a full ride scholarship out there, and my mom ends up sending me this real cheap Olympus camera. You know? So I start hand painting shoes up there. Like I see on Instagram, people are customizing shoes and stuff.
Yeah, of course, the Air Forces.
Yeah, Jordans, designer shit. I was like, that's dope. I want to do that.
Yeah, it's cool.
So I started to hand paint shoes in my dorm room, and then my teammates would start to see it. And they were like, bro, that shit's dope. Do mine. So I just start to charge them, and I'll do them. And people at the university, you know, wanted their shit done. People in the town and out of state.
So you were making people look good before the photos.
Yeah. So peep this, right? My dorm room just ended up turning into a mound of like shoe boxes.
Wow. Okay.
And I would just be up all night on my little desk in the light, and I'm just painting all night. Wake up tired as fuck, go to class, come back, paint, because I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I would take pictures of the shoes, and then when I finished up that second year in Casper, I moved back home to Denver to finish my last 2 years of college.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the hand painting stuff, and I got really into saying, you know what, I want to do body art on females.
Okay.
So where I paint the girls actually naked, and I do these crazy designs.
Like the Black Tape Project in a sense?
Yeah, kind of, but with paint, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And so I was like, damn, where am I gonna find a girl that's comfortable for standing 6 hours like naked? And I was like, the strip club.
Yeah.
So like, I went to the strip club. I met this girl. I said, tell her what I'm trying to do. And then
how do you propose an idea like that?
Yeah, just tell
hey, what's up? I want to get you naked and paint you.
Yeah, pretty much like that. You know, it's a yes or no. So this girl, she was down to do it. I painted her, and then that's when I first started taking pictures of people. I was like, you know what? I really like taking pictures of people. So I stopped doing the painting stuff, and I want to get more into photography. And I'm at this little lounge one night, and I meet this girl. And I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get into photography. Would you be down to be my mom? She's like, sure. So we set up the shoot. I shoot her. And then literally the next day after I shot her, I'm at another like little lounge thing. And someone's like, yo, if you're trying to get into the photo game and shit, you need to meet this lady named Rue Black. So I go talk to Rue, and I'm acting like I'm the shit with this thing.
Yeah, of course.
And she's like, oh, that's dope. Can I see some work you've done? And I have this one photo shoot that I just did with this girl the other day. I'm showing her the photos. She's like, hey, you know, these look pretty good. These ain't bad. And she's like, I have Mac Miller coming into town on October 31st, and he needs a day photographer with him while he's here.
Wow.
Have you ever done anything like that before? And I was like, fuck yeah.
Of course.
No problem. I got it, you know? Yeah. And I could barely know how to like operate the aperture. Yeah, bro. I had no fucking clue.
Were you in auto?
Yeah, I was in auto, yeah.
Oh my God. We love it.
So then I had a month to get ready to do this Mac Miller shoot.
Wow.
And I was sneaking into different areas and going to camera stores, YouTube videos, calling people, trying to figure it out. And you know, I figured it out, and so I get ready to do the whole shoot, and I arrived really early to the concert venue at Red Rocks. Have you ever heard of Red Rocks?
Actually,
it's like a 10,000 person venue in Colorado.
It's actually really
rock. Yeah, you know.
I know exactly what's at. Yeah.
So I'm there mad early during sound check, and this artist comes down. I don't know who he is, and he's like, "Yo, you're a touring photographer." And I was like, "Nah, but I'd love to do that. Like, I'm super into that shit." And you know, he's dapping me up, and all his boys are in this Uber, like, "Yo, we gotta go."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hold up." So he's like, "Get my number." Give him my phone. He gives me his number. He goes to shake my hand. Shakes my hand. Goes, "Tory Lanez." So that's how I met Tory Lanez.
Get out of here.
And then
you had no idea. He wasn't big.
No idea. He wasn't that big. I think at the time, you know, he was big. He was relevant, but he's nowhere near he is now.
No way, bro. Yeah.
So I met
him to come up and starting his.
Yeah. So I met Tory like that, did some stuff for him, and then I met Post, and then 50 Cent, Justin Bieber, and it just kind of turned into that scene.
Yeah.
And then I got more into like fashion and fine art photography and doing the portraiture stuff and then studio shit.
Yeah.
And now that's transitioning to me doing the next phase, which is mixing photography with music, where I'm the one making music about the song, or making music about the pictures that I take.
Yeah, which obviously has, as far as art in general, right?
Yeah.
Pictures, of course. There's a lot of emotion you plan into these photos.
Yeah.
Would you say so?
Yeah, especially like, you know, there's two types of jobs, right? There's the job that I get hired to do, and then there's the more artistic part of it where I get to come up with my own vision and create really like more like fine art photography.
Whoever Nathan James is.
Yeah, and so that's what my Nightmares art gallery was that I did in October. And from that Nightmares art gallery, there were 6 images, all named after different insecurities that we go through in our life. So they were, am I good enough? Is this how it ends? Why can't I feel anything? Am I alone? Do you give a fuck? And then can you hear me? Mm-hmm. So I'm making the songs based off that. And the songs are named after the pieces. And the cover art of the song is the pieces. You know what I mean? Okay. So super artsy, and all the music videos too. I'm having the piece hung up on the wall, like I'm incorporating the piece in the video. So it's cool, you know. I'm excited, man.
All I can hear is a big budget.
Yes.
That sounds like something that's gonna take a lot of capital to really do.
Yeah.
Correctly.
It hella is.
I'm sure you're connected very well in the Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
So let's backtrack a little bit. All these artists you're just kind of running into, it seems like, and it seems like the universe is really kind of putting in front of you. So do you believe that something was like helping you do this, and how did all this just fall into your lap so smoothly? I mean, you know, it seems like you just came into the game ready to ball.
Yeah, you know, honestly, my manager was saying this to me the other day. He's like, you seem to find yourself in a lot of once in a lifetime kind of opportunities.
It sounds like it.
And I don't know what it is, but I think what helps me to like discover like the right place, right time situations is the fact that I'm never afraid to network, and how I move is I really move with no fear. Yeah. I'm not afraid to like put myself in a situation where I might get rejected. Of course. Because if I get rejected, then I get rejected. Fuck them. But if I don't get rejected, now I'm in a door that's, you know, that's a good door to be in.
You're right. Sometimes you'll never know if you don't ask. Right?
Yeah, it's the whole concept. You know, you miss every shot you don't take type of thing. And I be taking shots. You know, so.
People overlook that a lot, though. You have to admit, a lot of people just don't shoot their shot.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. There's so many people who limit their potential by being fearful of what may happen.
That's good. That's good.
And so, for me, you know, I even got it tatted on me, no fear. Like, I make no decisions through fear at all. It's just strictly passion. So, that's my whole thing. Yeah.
So it seems like you gotta have yourself pretty dialed in.
Dialed in, man. It's a practice thing. Like, it's something, mentality too. Like, I always say to people, and one of my things is like, live tired. Which means you're living so much life and you're fighting so hard for the things you want and the shit that you're passionate about that you're always a little tired from working. Yeah. So that's broken down. It's just live tired, you know?
Live tired.
Yeah, which is on this wrist too.
So we love that.
Yeah, bro.
It seems like you got a tattoo. Okay, break us the other. Of course, you got Nightmares on there.
Shit, fucking. I got the King Kong on here.
King Kong. Okay.
This is huge. My mentality is King Kong state of mind. That's what I call it.
Break down the King Kong state of mind, because I don't think I have it.
Yeah. So like, King Kong state of mind is really just whatever you do, you know, you gotta know you're the beast of the jungle. You fucking run this shit. Because no one else thinks you do.
True.
And you gotta be your number one motivator, fan, supporter. And, you know, sometimes it's best to just almost act like there's no one else in the world and it's just you.
True.
And if just you were existing here, there would be no fear or insecurities of how good or not good you are. You would just be like, I'm getting it. The best 100%. That I can. At the end of the day, whatever happens, wherever the chips land, I know that I did my best. You know? So that's what that one is about.
So to me, just hearing off your talk, you seem wise. You seem like you know yourself a lot, which is pretty impressive, honestly, especially with your young age. I feel like I want to hear about your struggles because usually these things evolve from struggles. Would you say so?
That's so true, bro.
So give me something that you've struggled with in your line of work.
Well,
that have molded you into the person you are today.
Honestly, what molded me to who I am today goes back to like when I was a little kid.
Okay.
So I was actually in special ed all throughout school. Yeah, I was in special ed.
No way.
Yeah, bro.
Look at you now.
Yeah. Okay. So I was in special ed. I was held back in 3rd grade too.
Okay.
And it was an interesting contradiction because I really struggled with school, but I was a great athlete. So there's a lot of jealousy and hate because of, you know, being a good athlete. You know how that goes.
Of course.
And then there was also an easy pick on me factor with, you know, Nate being in special ed, Nate being held back. So it's like this.
Seems like you were kind
of the push and pull type situation. So I honestly, bro, like I really had to stand up for my own self a lot of times, especially when I was in school, because I was a lone survivor. Honestly, I didn't have many friends. You know, I had a couple people that I fucked with, but
of course,
I was always just different. I mean. Now it's more accepted, like, you know, with my hair, I got black nails, you know, I just...
No, this is more relevant now, but...
Yeah, this is way more relevant now.
You can take 2 years back and it wasn't.
Yeah, so like, bro, like, when I was in elementary school, middle school, like, I dressed so different, I just stood out like a motherfucker, so people would just pick on me for that stuff.
Of course.
I've never cared, you know, and like, just to prove of how little I care what other people think of me. Like, I've also never smoked weed. I've never drank alcohol. I've never tried any of those.
Ever. Wow.
And I'm around it 24/7.
Of course you are. Look at the business you're in.
Yeah, you know, and if anyone, you know, a bystander is out and about and they see me walking around, you know, the first thing they think is, look at that guy. That guy looks like he's fucking on all sorts of shit. Crazy hair, tats, everything, you know, but...
That's the opposite.
Yeah, I haven't touched that. And everyone that sees you has their own story of how they think you are. Only you really know how you are as a person, and every person that sees you immediately gets their own vision of how they see you.
Yeah.
You know, there could be 5 people in a room and they don't know you. And if you ask each one of those 5 people, what is your guess on who this guy is, they're all going to give different answers. You know?
Wow. So it seems like you're very intelligent about life.
Yeah.
So you've gone through a lot of life experiences that might have, you know, inflicted some stuff, and you seem to find a way to bounce back every time.
Yeah, man. Like, culturally too, I was a lot of times put in kind of like, I guess you could say, like, reverse racism type of situations, because I was always like the only white guy amongst like all blacks or like all Mexicans, you know. So
always with the minority.
Yeah, always with the minority. And I personally, just in my life experiences, have way more friends that are minorities.
Yeah.
And have been more accepted in those cultures of minority cultures and stuff like that. So honestly, I've gotten the most hate from my own like race of people.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's interesting, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know the reason for that, but
have you always been in LA?
No, so I grew up in Denver, Colorado, and so I was born and raised, and then I lived in Wyoming for those 2 years when I was playing college basketball out there, and then moved back home to Denver, and finished up school, was doing the photography shit, and yeah, man, just I moved to LA kind of on a whim. When I got done with school, I was doing this little commercial for this private jet company. And I meet the owner, he liked me a lot. And he said, you know what, when you're done with school, I had 1 semester left in my college. And he's like, when you're done, you got a job here if you want one. And I was like, well, shit, what's it pay? You know, he told me, I was like, damn, you know, maybe I consider that. And how my parents raised me was, you know, you can't be an entrepreneur. That's just not what you do. The idea of entrepreneurship and being your own boss was non-existent to me. Didn't make sense. I thought that I could not be able to have a full-time career in photography, and once I was done with college, photography would have to be on the side, and I'd have to go get a real job.
Of course.
And that's what I did. I worked for this private jet company for 6 months, and I convinced my teachers, because I had one semester, I said, hey, it's my last semester of my senior year. Can you let me finish online so I can take this private jet company job? So I was working for this private jet company and actually led the company in sales. And I was the youngest employee to ever work for the company. The next youngest person was 41. Wow. So I was young in there doing my thing. And then I just, you know, I was grinding, bro. I was making good money. And I was like, I'm gonna buy a house. So I'd actually put down my earnest money on a home that I purchased. And then 3 days before I was supposed to move into this house, I woke up on my birthday. I said, what the fuck am I doing in Denver, Colorado? Yeah. I don't need to be here. I don't like this. I need to be doing photography. I need to be creating, doing artsy stuff. And I said, I'm out. So I said, fuck the house. Wow. Got my money back, walked into work, quit the job, bought out of my lease agreement, and said, I'm moving to LA. Posted a little Instagram story saying, yo, anyone in LA that I know that I could crash at your house for a month, just to figure shit out. So my cousin hits me up. My cousin Vinny hits me up, who lives in LA. And he goes, you can stay at my mom's boyfriend's house. Wow. Okay. That seems kind of... Yeah, very different, right? Definitely. Never met the guy. And I was like, I'm there. And he goes, when you coming? I said, tomorrow. So I hired movers. They got all the shit out of my apartment, put all my stuff in my room at my mom's house, packed my car with as much shit as I could. And I drove 16 hours straight to LA, and I've almost been in LA for 3 years, and I just hit the ground running, Wow, so you've been in LA for only 3 years? Not even 3 yet. April 11th will be 3 years in. So you've really experienced growth in a short amount of time. Yeah, massive, man. You created a name. Yeah, and honestly, 2019 was, like this past year, I really consider it my rookie year of photography. Because, because the 2 years prior to that, I was doing photography, but I was also doing some artist management. Mm-hmm. And photography honestly wasn't my main priority. It was just kind of keeping it afloat. Yeah. And so in 2019, right at the start of 2019, I broke away from that. In 2019, I was just the first time able to fully just focus on that. No school, no artist management, nothing, just strictly photography. I have a secret. This is a business secret. So anyone watching, I will fucking listen to this. This changed my life. We'd love to hear it, okay? I was like, how can I expand to have more time? And society tells us that time is broken down in a year, a month, a week, and a day. Yeah, right? Correct. So I said, okay, I understand that thing. I said, all right. So what I'm gonna do is this. When you set goals, right? What do people say? Oh, what's your 2020 goal? Right? Yeah. What are your 2020 goals? I say, here's what I do. I take 1 year, and I take that year and I break it up into 4 years. And how I do that is every 3 months to me is 1 year. So my yearly goals happen in the first 3 months of the year. And then the second 3 months of the year is my year 2. And then the third, and fourth. So in 1 year, I like to try to acquire 4 years of work. Wow. So that's kind of my secret of how I look at time. And of course, in your defense, it makes sense, seeing your growth in such a short amount of time. Yeah, and that's when people say, well, how did you do that in 2019? Well, honestly, I did 4 years of work in 1 year. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm quick on things. Yeah, definitely. That's my secret. It's definitely a weird way, a different way. Like you said, you've always been different. Yeah. It's definitely a different approach to something, but it looks like it's really working out for you. Yeah, man, it's honestly changed my life. Mm-hmm. And how I make decisions now is it's not off of fear. I try to make educated moves. Educated plays. Okay, let me think about that. Okay. I'm not gonna think on it too long. Sounds good, looks right. Trigger pull, we going. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're about it. Yeah, about it. Like to move fast. Yeah, I don't bullshit. People who are on my team, they know I don't bullshit. And if I can't get a hold of you, or things don't move, or things fall through, then I'm sorry, but I gotta have people that can keep up.
Which in your industry, you know, sometimes people don't show up.
Yeah.
So what do you do at that point?
Man, show up, like who? Give me an example.
I mean, like, let's say someone doesn't show up for a photo shoot, right?
Yeah. Well, I always do deposits.
Always do deposits.
Yeah. So now, if you can't make it or you cancel, it's fine. I'm not gonna take your deposit and say fuck you. I say, okay, let's just reschedule another date. Your deposit's still valid with me, and then boom, you know. Yeah.
Are you comfortable with saying how much you charge for shoots?
Yeah, thousands.
Yeah. So how much is the deposit from you? What up, Nathan? I'm Laurent. I want to get a shoot with you. Just give me the album cover art, you know?
Yeah. So a lot of photographers and creatives don't know this, that as a photographer, you have rights of licensing fees. You know, and so what a licensing fee is let's say Puma comes to me. Yeah. And they say, hey Nate, we're doing this new campaign. We want to do this. Here's what we're thinking. The first questions that, you know, my manager or myself are going to ask is, what are the photos being used for, and how long are they being used for? So billboards, website, banners, email, social media, ads, you know, just a couple things, and then for how long? Yeah. So I'll get paid a day rate, you know, or an all-in rate, which will also include my day rate and the licensing fee. And most campaigns are 6 months to a year. So let's say like Puma wants to do a 6-month campaign. They'll pay me a licensing fee to use the rights of my images across however they're going to use them. Maybe a billboard on the 101 or storefronts in the malls, you know. And so, you know, I own the copyright, but they are also having non-exclusive rights to also use the image I want. Now, if they want to buy out the copyright, that's another price, you know. And so some of these campaigns, you know, it just depends on how big and what's being going on, but you know,
there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, campaigns can vary anywhere. You know, it can vary from $10,000 to $250,000. You know, just depends. And you know, album cover, same kind of thing. Am I just shooting photos for you for social media, or am I shooting an album cover that's going to be existing out there and used forever? Yeah. So let's say for the photographers, I'm sure you have a pretty big fan base right now. For the photographers up and coming and following you, what's something they should charge, or how can they scale their worth? Yeah, because that's a huge problem with a lot of kids. That's so true, man. You never know where to start. Yeah, I didn't either. I remember I asked this photographer I looked up to when I was first getting into it, and I go, bro, how do you do pricing? And he gave me the best answer of like, that's just something that you figure out with time. Yeah, you know, I remember my first photo shoot was for $50. It sounds hilarious. Yeah, it sounds hilarious to say now, but yeah, first like shoot I did was like $50.
So you're telling me back then I could have gotten
you could have
shoot for $50.
You kind of got a shoot from me for $50. You know, you might have been able to get a shoot from me. Yo, I'm gonna buy you lunch if you take some pictures.
So a little off topic, but now you think you can get that same price for $50?
I got you.
Alright, sounds good.
You just gotta give me lunch.
Okay, that sounds good. That's good. What do you like to eat?
Ah man, let me get some pizza or some mac and cheese.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, let's go. 100%. 100%. All right, so we've talked about your past, kind of figured out who you are. I'm kind of curious on what's next for Nathan James. Clearly, you have your hands on a lot of pockets right now.
Yeah.
Besides photos, and I feel like you don't capitalize enough on that. So let's go ahead and talk of what you kind of have next and what we should expect from you.
Yeah. So what's interesting is I spent a lot of time in 2019 trying to figure out what I decided to name the recycling system.
The recycling system.
Yeah, that's why I call it the recycling system. So the recycling system is, okay, what is it that I'm good at now? What's my main thing? And I was like, okay, photography. All right, that's my house. Okay, so photography is my home. How can I now make additions to my house that aren't like, oh, I'm going totally left field and I'm opening up a tire shop.
Yep.
Right, like photography and tire shop. It
doesn't work.
Yeah, so I was like, photography is my house. How can I make additions to my house that fit? Yeah. And grow? So I was thinking, I was like, okay, there's two types of services in business. You have, I'm service based or I'm product based. And I was like, okay, me being a photographer, I'm a service, you know? And I was like, I need to find something that's a product because a product is scalable.
Product sales,
you know? And yeah, product sales and products are scalable. So it's like, okay, with what I do with photography being my house, how can I make a product around that? And the first thing I thought of was, okay, I could make prints of my work and sell them. right? So I did my Nightmares art gallery, you know, like I was saying. With the 6,
I checked them out actually on your website.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. So with the 6 images, came up with the concept, Nightmares, named each one of the pieces, and I said, okay, so that's cool. And then I was like, all right, well, that's just still not enough. Like, you know, what could it be? I was like, imagery on apparel, right? I was like, you see that all the time. And I was like, I'm gonna make my own Nightmares images, not only for prints, but on product. So I have them on shoes, socks, shirts, white shirts right now, yeah. So the next evolvement of that is I'm working on getting a distribution deal with Zoomies.
Wow, that would be honestly amazing.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal and a big check.
That is a big check, yeah.
Right now, I'm a good buddy of mine. His name's James. He's one of the owners with the company, The Gold Gods.
Okay, yeah.
And so we're just, you know, he handles all the distribution with Zoomies because the Gold Gods.
They're all in Zoomies.
Yeah,
they're the little jewelry sections or watches, eyes, etc. Yeah.
They're in about like over 700 different Zoomies stores. So James is already talking with the lead guy who handles all the distribution at Zoomies. Yeah. And right now we're in that deal of structuring it and trying to push them through. Yeah, so more than likely it'll probably just be the shirts that go in first. And
which makes sense, obviously.
Yeah, and you can't quote me on this, but I'll probably, based on what we were talking about, I'll get what's called like a sample run in about 50 Zoomies stores. Does well, then boom, it's just more, and then it's a wrap. And then just continue to make different projects every year, right? That has a new concept that, you know, here's a new, you know, Nightmares by Nathan James or whatever by Nathan James with those images. Now, like I was telling you, all those images are named after insecurities. So let's just say, am I good enough, right? That's a name of one of them. I have descriptions under each product of what it means to be good enough and what it's like to struggle with those things. So when someone buys the shirt, there'll be like a little tag on there kind of explaining what that means. Wow.
So you're taking things a little extra.
Yeah, man, very artsy, and that's
you're showing your creativity,
bro. Your
whole brand is your creativity.
Yeah, my whole thing is more art.
Yeah, more art.
To sum it up, more art. All about just making good art. If you make good art and not make the focus about money, all the money then comes.
Yeah, you're a very, very well-spoken person for doing just art.
Yeah, man.
So it's actually pretty impressive. Just the way you think.
Thank you, man.
It's very different.
Hell yeah.
Makes me think. So as far as you got a lot of stuff coming for it, right?
Yeah.
You have a really good past. You know, you had some struggles. They really molded into the person you are today. Nathan James. It started off as your name, and now it's a brand, and very powerful.
Damn. So like with that too, right? So I have, you know, like I said, photography is the main foundation of the house, and then now I'm adding the, you know, art galleries with merchandise. And the other thing I'm adding is the music.
Okay.
You know, and that's the component that I'm super excited for, because a lot of times I have so much on my mind that I'm just, you know, when I'm doing my creative actual art gallery projects, you know, I get to display that visually, but I still can't speak it to anybody. So it's like, what's the best way to spread that and get that out there? And I was like, music,
yeah.
You know? And that's like what I was referring to, the recycling system. The recycling system is where whatever I do here is gonna help whatever I do here. Sure. And whatever I do here is gonna help with this. And whatever I do with this is gonna help here. And it just full circles itself. Yep. So the music, the photography, the merchandise, the art galleries, everything is just a nice recycling system. You know?
This is I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely a pretty interesting thing to conceptualize as far as your music and art take with the clothes, and as far as the detail of going onto the tags and describing things.
Yeah.
Where does all this come from? How do you have enough time in the day to even think about this stuff? Because what it looks like, you're a busy guy.
Yeah.
You work. So I mean, is your mind just always going? Or
like
to break it down.
I describe people, like my lifestyle is I have a word for it. I call it organized chaos.
Organized chaos. I like it.
Yeah, and that's literally the lifestyle and how my brain works.
It's very sporadic.
Yeah, it's just organized chaos. Everything is very organized, but shit just on the fly here and here. And you can't fight it or get stressed out of it. You just have to accept the lifestyle that I have and that I decided to have. That's just part of it.
It is.
So you just moving and moving, and I can't remember. I was watching this podcast, and this guy came up with this crazy idea. He was like, if you look at some of the most brilliant people in our history, they all had multiple different projects going on at different times, and
that's so true.
Like he called it slow motion multitasking. And what that really just means is, if you're just stuck on trying to just do one thing, that's fine and it can work out for you. But when you have your head working on maybe like a couple other projects, you get to have a restart and a fresh start when you go back.
Yep.
And if you ever get caught or stuck on something or tired of something, then you can just bounce to the next thing you're working on.
It's funny you say that. So when I edit projects, right, when I edit videos or client work, whatever, sometimes when I get stuck on a project and get kind of a creative block, I'll stop it, I'll bounce back to another project, finish that out, and then jump back on that one tomorrow.
And you have a whole new fresh start and you're ready to rock.
And as soon as I get back on it, I'm just full of ideas and I start slamming.
Yeah.
So that's,
that's literally the concept of, slow motion multitasking.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So seems like you got everything pretty figured out now. I feel like you're just
trying,
testing the waters.
I'm seeing, man. I'm trying so fucking hard, man. I tell people all the time, like, I will die for this. I consider myself as just a vessel, and on this planet. Yeah. And that there's a higher power above that's just guiding me. Yeah. Of how to help do what I'm doing and influence others to be creative. Because in our society too, the creative bug gets killed at an early age, man.
It's hard.
No, don't do that. Play it safe. You better go get a job. This, that, the other.
College, and school.
Yeah, and talk about playing it safe. Remember I was saying the private jet job. Yeah. I was making good money. Well, when I left that, I've now tripled my amount of income from that.
But
follow my dreams, and I love it.
Let's say you didn't follow your dreams. You didn't leave.
And I played it safe.
And you played it safe. Yeah. You'd still be making good income, but you never knew what you had behind the door.
And I wouldn't be happy is the number one thing. Fuck all the money and all that shit. At the end of the day, I'd rather just be barely getting by and be like, man, I fucking love what I do. And when I die, bro, that's the thing. If someone were to pull a gun to me right now and shoot me, I'd be like, all right, I know I've busted my ass and to do everything that I could up to now. Yeah. There is no regrets behind me of, I wish I would have done this sooner, I wish I would have worked harder at this. Like, no, I am going full hard steam ahead. And if my life ends right now, I'm gonna be like, well, I know I've done everything I possibly could up until that point.
Not too many people can relate to that.
Yeah, that's how you gotta live. Because the last thing you want to be is on your deathbed having regret.
Or working a job or something that you don't like to do.
Fuck, yeah.
And that's all you gotta do.
Yeah, and people are just afraid, man. People are afraid, and you just gotta drop the fearfulness. Gotta drop the judgment, drop the what would my parents think. Well, guess what? Your parents aren't waking up every day to work the job for you. You are. So it might as well be busting your balls for yourself and not someone else.
So you're saying I could never see Nathan James working at a little desk job or...
Fuck, man. Hell, I'll be homeless before I do that.
I will never come into any call centers and see leopard hair or nothing.
Nah, no leopard hair in call centers. Yeah.
Love it, man. We love it. Well, hey, it sounds like you got a big 4 years ahead of you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 4 years ahead.
Yeah. It sounds like you have a lot of stuff in the works, and I'm actually very excited and eager to kind of see where you go.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool. I really think, and you never know, but I've been having the feeling that like
it's right around the corner.
Yeah, man. I can't say when.
I can see it. I can see her now. Something's just right there.
Yeah, I just been having a lot of good, like, what the fuck moments with people and interactions where I'm just like, fuck, I can't believe what I thought was a problem turned into like the biggest blessing. Yeah, and I'm like, dang, that's why that happened, because then that happened. You're right. A lot of that's been going on, and I'm happy for whatever comes my way. As long as I know I work hard and I stay humble with my stuff. But you also got to be the cockiest son of a bitch in your own head to keep yourself going, because there's a lot of people trying to
take you down,
bring you down, man. So yeah, you gotta maintain the strength within you in order to keep going. So.
Yeah. So as far as experiencing everything you have done in life and with the creativity and all that, for a kid who's struggling right now, being creative or maybe scared or held back because of, whatever reason, what are some things you could say to someone right now that could really help them kind of get past the creativeness? You spoke earlier saying how the creative aspect dies in a lot of kids because they want to do everything traditionally.
Yeah, I would say this. For a lot of the younger generation who's still living with like mom and dad, or mom and dad are a huge influence on your life. Just remember this: at one point in your life, you're gonna be on your own, and make sure when you're on your own, you're living the life that you wanted for yourself, not what your parents wanted for you. And that low key like starts now.
Wow. Wow.
And just start practicing. It's okay. It's like, again, it's not always all about the money. And there's so many careers, because living in LA, we forget about all the rest of like mid America.
No, 100%.
Towns of 20,000 people, where to be a photographer or be a videographer,
it's hard.
Or a painter, right? It's like unthinkable. You couldn't do it there.
You couldn't do it, and the money's small.
Yeah, all that. So a lot of these kids are growing up with not even knowing the possibility exists. It just doesn't exist where you live.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that are based in the entertainment and art world, are so heavy in LA.
It's the talent capital of the entire country.
Yeah, there's literally jobs and opportunities that exist here that don't exist anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's hard for parents and kids and teachers to grasp that when they've never experienced LA. So that's where a lot of things fall, through the gap. But it's just that's my advice to all the youth right there. Yeah.
Wow. This was actually a really impressive interview. To be honest, I wasn't expecting someone that's as creative as you are to be so well worded and have such a grasp against life in your own way. Yeah. You definitely have your own way of thinking of stuff that I've never even heard before. But
some different shit, huh? Bro, you should see me.
It's crazy.
It'll be 4 in the morning. I'm like a fucking madman. I'm just like, this is some weird shit. It's some weird shit.
Go ahead, lay it on.
I like. There'll be times where it's 4 in the morning, and I like to walk through the hood by myself. 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yeah. And I'll just be thinking, man. Oh my God.
But you're getting inspiration,
and I'm just processing, and I don't know. I just feels good. I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain, but I just feel so. I think exposed and isolated that I get my most creative ideas and insight
under pressure.
Yeah.
Heartbreak.
Under pressure.
Like everything.
Emotions. But mostly when I'm lonely and I'm by myself and it's dark.
You just think.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's
kind of weird.
That's definitely some Freddy Krueger stuff.
Yeah, some Freddy Krueger type shit, man. I like that. Dark time on my own, maybe in a little bit of a scary situation. I don't know. It's just maybe adrenaline pumps and makes me think a certain way. Like, I don't know what it is, but I fiend for that. I'm like a vampire for that shit.
But it works.
Yeah.
It works. Hey, everyone's got their niche, right? So
that's kind of weird. Hopefully it changes.
Everyone's got their weird little thing,
Yeah.
But mine, for one, is I eat powdered donuts in the morning. That's pretty risky to me.
Powdered
calories.
Yeah, you gotta count down. Better be vegan.
Yeah, bro. Are you vegan?
I'm trying.
You're trying.
Peanut butter's vegan. I love peanut butter, so that's a good start.
That's a good start. That's a good start, definitely.
Toast, peanut butter, honey, bananas.
That's your thing.
That's my thing.
That's your thing.
Multiple times a day.
Okay.
Yeah, peanut butter toast with honey and bananas in it. Right there.
Honestly, Nathan, it was a pleasure having you, man. I was very excited, kind of digging your head a little bit.
Hell yeah, same with you, man.
I think you dug your line instead, so this is a great interview, bro. Seriously, I love having you, man. Seriously,
thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Alright guys, after that crazy interview with Nathan James that totally caught me off guard, I will say that this man is a lot deeper than Instagram and photos. Wow. Nathan, how do you feel?
Feel good, man.
Feel good to get
anytime I talk about stuff, it feels good because I feel like I have the ability to reach someone to now influence them to aspire.
No, hey, some of the stuff you talk about influenced me. Like, I'm taking some of the stuff in. Yeah. That's why I love doing what I do. Is I get to really take in. Definitely been a pleasure to kind of talk to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be down for the spooky night shit.
Yeah, you don't go on night.
I'm a little too small to see. If I saw you in the streets, I'd probably be like, yeah, let that guy keep walking. But if someone saw me, they'd be like, all right, what's up? You know what I mean? So like, but no, hey man, seriously, it's a pleasure talking to you, man. Hope everything goes well in the future, huh?
Hell yeah, appreciate it. Stay in touch, yeah.
Yep.